Alright, that's enough of that. The Canada warbler is one of the few North American warblers named after a place to actually be reliably found in the place it's named after. This is a thing that comes up slightly annoyingly often with warblers. The Tennessee warbler is a transient visitor to Tennessee. The Connecticut warbler is a transient visitor to Connecticut. The Cape May warbler is only found there on migration. They were only named after that because the original type specimens were collected there. And also because naming is hard, I guess. With Canada warblers, however, A, Canada's big enough that you're dragging a pretty wide net here, and B, 80% of their breeding population is actually within Canada, so yay, you got it right this time. Although Canada has always been very central to their identity, they weren't always known as a warbler. There was a time in the past when these birds were actually called the Canadian flycatcher. Much of this is because they have a much more active hunting style than a lot of other warblers. A very typical warbler behavior will be to walk along branches and up tree trunks, gleaning insects from branches and leaves. Canada warblers are one of the few that will actively chase them down in the air. They even have little whiskers that's often very much more characteristic of flycatchers, that aids them in deflecting missed insects away from their eyes. Although this is a behavioral similarity, there are several morphological differences as well as genetic ones that eventually took them definitively out of the flycatcher category and into the warblers, where they belong. Much like naming, it turns out that taxonomy is rather difficult. The other major point about Canada warblers is they're one of several warblers we have here that are a species at risk. They are classified as threatened among most of Canada largely because of their very rapid decline across most of their range. Again, the slightly worrying thing is that the cause of this decline is largely unknown. It's probable that they're declining because of a number of factors all working in tandem. Loss of habitat quality, increased rate of predation, increased rate of mortality during migration, etc., etc., etc. As is the case for several bird species that are mysteriously declining, more study is needed. However, anything that would prevent bird mortality in general, such as putting strike prevention on your windows and keeping cats indoors, can do nothing but help.